Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Lisa Leschendro. I am one of the annuity directors here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. I want to thank you all for joining us this fine morning. Happy New Year's, happy 2021. Hopefully, we have a better year this year. But I'm going to bring on one of our key speaker here today is Rob. And Rob, I'm going to butcher your last name. Don't kill me about this. Markovitz? Is that right?
Correct.
Oh my God, that's bad. So, anyway, Rob is a key part of insurance agency marketing services because of the service he's allowing us to bring to our contracted producers and agents to provide this preset appointment program, which we're going to take a deep dive into today. But prior to that, and handing the mic over, I want to go over a couple of things. Feel free to utilize that question box in the there for you. I will stop Rob or stop myself and answer any of those questions that we can. If I know that we're going to cover that information, I'll try to respond to you and say, hang tight. We're going to go over that just out of use of time and respect of everybody's time here this morning. I do see a lot of familiar names, folks that are already working with us here at IAMS. So for that, welcome back, you guys. Always love seeing you join our webinars and being part of the IAMS family here. For those of you that are new, I see some new names here, and I'm excited to have you on with us as well. For those of you that haven't worked with IAMS, I'm going to go over just a little bit about us here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services, some of the perks that you get working with us, and I'll make that as brief as possible. So the folks that already are familiar with that I don't have to sound like a broken record to them because they've already experienced it. So with that, I'm going to get going. And if I can click right, there we go. One of the things you get working with IAMS is we have our new producer builders program. So in the first 180 days and working with us, oh, hold on. Yes, by the way, this webinar will be, I've got a question already. This webinar will be recorded. For those of you that have registered, obviously you're on here, you will automatically get a recorded version of this webinar. So moving on, our new producer builders program. We want to partner with our producers that are contracted with us. And what I mean by partner is we want to give you guys money back or help you build your business, help you grow your business. And those are the guys that we really want to work with. Um, with that in mind, in the first 180 days that you are writing business with us, you hit one of these levels, whether it's, you wrote 100,000 in premium with us or 250,000 or 500,000 all the way up to a million. We're going to provide you a little something back to help you continue to grow that business, put money back into your business to, the saying goes, Rob, right? You got to spend money to make money. We're going to help you do that with this program. I'm not going to go over every single category and what's included in each category, but if you do see something on here that might not be a great fit for you, but you've got another avenue and what your marketing plan is or has, feel free to let us know. We love to think outside the box. I mean, if a Visa card or a trip or something isn't really going to be your cup of tea, we don't want you to waste your money or waste our money in doing that. We want to make sure that we're giving it back to you. It could be, giving you money to go for preset appointments. It could be towards education, whatever it is that you feel would be the best fit for you. So don't be afraid to contact your marketer or even Steve Murray himself. We're happy to have those conversations. Well, you guys like referrals, and guess what? So do we. We also have a referral producer program. So with that in mind, we have $50 when you refer a contract over to us, 100 or more when they start doing some business, and then just we up the ante as it goes along. $1,000 when we pay you 20 basis points on business written by your referral thereafter. So we want to make sure that we are thanking you. We wouldn't have that producer or agent come in here without you referring them. So we want to make sure that we are compensating you for that as well. I want to talk a little bit about working with IAMS and our back office support. I love bragging about these guys. Anywhere from our case design people to our new business processors. I mean, we have really spent a lot of time and money and having the best of the best support for our producers. So with that in mind, whether you're looking to, utilize some other building business tools, case design assistance with your directors, quoting, sales expertise, coaching, whatever it is that you need, we are going to be the source for you to find that. I do encourage everybody to go onto our website and get registered on our website. It's just www.imsinc.com. There you can find quoting tools, forms, current news, product material, whatever it is that you're looking for. We also have access to our e-app there too. So you do need to be registered in order to get registered for our Firelight, which I'll get into. But jot this website down, or if you're at your computer or whatnot, go ahead and save that onto your toolbar or your web browser and take a look at it when it's convenient for you. Like I was talking about, our e-app technology that we use would be Firelight is the platform. One of the best platforms out there in the industry for e-applications. But utilizing Firelight is a great way to make that sales process go extremely smooth for the client. Nice thing about that is that it's going to help you prevent missing um, pieces on the application, stop you from having to go back to the client multiple times for additional things. And then what happens is that e-app goes to our new business folks. They scrub the application for you. And then prior to it being submitted to the carrier, we try to, iron out all the wrinkles that need to be done prior to you having to go back to the client multiple times. So it's just makes the experience for the client and you a lot better. Carriers that we have on our Firelight, here's an example. We have quite a few, and I think even we have quite a few of the ones that are coming soon in that column are already on there as well. But if you ever have any questions on that, ask your marketer or call a new business team. We'd be happy to answer those questions. I touched a little bit on our creative marketing team. Love these guys. They are so talented and really have the skills to make anything happen for you. Um, Anywhere from whether it's creating a new logo design. Maybe your logo is a little outdated or isn't as catchy as it was in the 70s or 80s. They can completely make it to be your vision, um, mold things to the way you want them to look, and you know we get a lot of raised eyebrows and a lot of happy campers utilizing our creative team. So I encourage you to talk to your marketer, or anyone here at IAMS can help you explore that as well. Several years ago, we like to be that one-stop ball shop for our contracted producers. With that in mind, I want to talk a little bit about our IAMS Wealth Management team. We have discovered several years ago, Charles Sr. and Steve Murray, decided that we needed to have a place for some securities assistance as well. So let's say you let your securities license lapse, or you're not interested in maintaining a securities license, you can reach out to our IMS Wealth Management team and they can assist you with those. It's a great way to keep your clients in your own backyard, so you're not worried about somebody else talking to them about the products that you do sell. So that's just 10,000-foot view on that. Definitely don't hesitate to give us a call or reach out to our IMS Wealth Management team as well with any questions that you have on that. And with that in mind, I'm going to bring Rob on. Rob and I we're kind of traditional. We like to have just a conversation, really. We don't have a PowerPoint per se, because we want you guys to be interacting into this conversation and asking questions, and let us give you the details on how this program works. And with that in mind, Rob, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Absolutely. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Good afternoon, depending on where you are. Close to afternoon. I'm up early over here sometimes, but anyway, we're happy to have you on board. I know time is a premium for everybody right now, and want to get started off the new year properly. As Lisa had said, we have partnered up with IMS. We've been with IMS for, I believe, almost about 2 years now. Been a super good relationship. We are a third party to them. We're a technology company, and we create appointments. That's the big thing. So, to give you guys a 10,000-foot overview on basically what we do and really what sets us apart in the insurance industry is, number one, we create appointments. These aren't leads. So we create, sell, deliver, confirm one single appointment one time to a single agent. That's number one. Number two is when we create appointments, we do it a lot different than other lead sources or appointment sources you've probably used in the past. The first thing that really sets us apart is we never ever give away anything for free. We don't give away free iPads. We don't give away free money. We don't give away free trips, any of that stuff. So when we reach out to clients, we start engaging them about pension and retirement. And, Sally, how would you like to know when you can retire? Would you like to know what options are available for income when you retire? Would you like to know how many more years you possibly have to work? That's how we engage the client. The other thing that's different about what we do is when that client re-engages us, yes, I'd like to, meet with the client or meet with the representative, I should say, which is you in this case. We turn around to them and go, great, we'll set you up with somebody, but we force that client to make the appointment for the date and the time that they would like to have the appointment. So it's a little bit different than anything in the past. The other thing, or you've probably used in the past, the third thing that's huge on our side is, we all want you to stay focused. The people at IMS want you to stay focused on selling. We don't want you to get distracted doing other things outside of, meeting with clients, getting them into the proper product. And so one of the things we do that's different is we don't pre-bill you any amount. This is a little different deal. You don't give us $3,000 and you order 10 leads or appointments or whatever it is. With our system, the way it goes is you will be able to get a sign-up information, once Lisa will hand that stuff off to you guys, or Lisa's team will hand that off to you over at IMS. You'll go through that registration process. You pick out some of the areas you would like, but you put a credit card in your back office. So the third and big thing is we basically we bill you on the day of the appointment, not the day the appointment was created, so you don't have to worry about that. So those are a couple big caveats to what we do. I would say the two biggest things I hear out of financial services people, at least two biggest challenges always are, hey, how do I meet a new client? With COVID still in the pipeline and what's going on in the world, it's still kind of a little bit of a challenge. Some of the people are like, hey, even at lunch or something, it used to be you could go sit down and have lunch and pretty easily meet somebody. And really meeting somebody isn't the challenge. The big challenge to meeting a new client is getting them to push their finances across the table. So the cool thing about what we're doing, no matter what market you work inside of our system, is these people are expecting to have a pension retirement review. And we're telling them, hey, have your pay stubs ready, have some of your retirement pieces ready. So their checkbook, so to say, is already open to you. So that financial part's already taken care of. The other thing that I think is a huge challenge for or financial planners and advisors is the everybody you run into that has a job and has some money, already has a financial advisor. And how do you get around that? And even those of you that have been in the industry for 45 years, 50 years, I've heard every pitch out there. It's a hard one. It's a tough one to get around. Hey, let me give you a free second opinion. It doesn't hurt to have a second opinion. I've heard all that stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But where there's a huge opportunity is when you get into pension reviews, what you're going to find is, number one, 91, 92% of the people that participate in any type of a pension have no idea what they're going to retire with. And second thing, and I would creatively ask all of you this, is all of you out there, if you have been in the business for a while, you probably have somebody like a school teacher, a fireman, a policeman, a professor, something along that lines, and that's already a client of yours. They've been a client of yours for 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, whatever it is. More than likely, I would almost bet my life on it, is you've never done a pension review with them. And so that opens a big opportunity. On the sales side, I'll talk about what goes on those appointments in a minute. But the big thing is, we work a few different markets. One of them is the federal market. So we do a bunch of the VA hospitals. If you want to jump into the federal market, or you've already been in the federal market, and that retirement system, we have started getting data on the federal hospitals, VA hospitals. We've been working on that for about a year now. There's quite a bit of data back there. And again, I know you have questions. Hey, do you have the VA hospital in, northern Florida or whatever? You can get a hold of the team at IMES. They'll be able to help you out with some of that stuff and get those questions answered. But we do business in every state in the country. The other place we create appointments aside from that federal market and the VA hospitals, just so you know, that federal market, we're growing that market. So we're going to be doing the TSA, everything else, of course, that's federal, postal, whatever it is. So lots of opportunity there. The other markets we work in that we've been in for years and years and years is the K through 12 school teacher market. We also do the policemen, firemen, city, county, municipal people, as well as the colleges, universities, and community colleges. So what would happen is when you guys get through LISA, you'd go through our registration process. At that time, you'd be able to pick out, any of the districts you want to work, any of the universities you want to work, any of the VA hospitals you want to work. So you'd pick those out at that time, and you can adjust that anytime you want, whether it's today, tomorrow, in a week, in a month, whatever you want. Our registration sign-up process, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. It'll take most of you less than 10 minutes to get that accomplished. Our system is very cool. It creates a calendar for you. If you're currently using a Google Calendar, our system will sync with a Google Calendar. Unfortunately, it does not sync with Outlook Calendar, but if you are using a Google Calendar, you can sync your calendar with our calendar. We basically create appointments between 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. You can opt in independently for Saturday and or Sundays. But the nice thing about our calendar system is, we don't have a fight in the game. If you go, hey, I don't work on Fridays anymore, good for you. Block out that calendar 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and you won't get an appointment. So our system's basically looking for available time for you. We schedule appointments on a 60-minute basis. So if you have, time open from, say, 10 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon, depending on when that client creates that appointment, let's just say they create a 10:30 appointment, your next earliest appointment would be 11:30. And then, of course, the next earliest appointment could be 12:30. So, typically one thing about our system that's a little bit different, and Lisa would reconfirm on this one for sure, is, when you get started up with us, we recommend you starting out slow, a few appointments a week, maybe, 4 to 6, 7 appointments a week on the max side, unless you're really familiar with it. Go ahead, Lisa. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I do want to chime in and back up just a few minutes. in the conversation, when Rob was talking about, you select your categories, whether it's K through 12, whether it's VA, hospitals, federal, state employees, whatnot. One thing that is awesome about working with Rob is the fact that if there is a college or a VA hospital that is not listed in that category, you let me know and I get with Rob and they'll go collect the data on that. So I don't know, Rob, you want to just chime in a little bit more into the details on that, just to let
Absolutely.
folks.
So, yeah, there's sorry to cut you off, please.
You're good.
There is a lot of opportunity there because, as we're accumulating data, we're kind of prioritizing it where there are agents. And so, as Lisa just stated, if you get a hold of her and you're in, and I'm trying to make somewhere up, I don't know where we don't have data, but let's just say it's somewhere in Texas and we don't have the VA hospital that's outside of Dallas. Um, we're not aware that we don't have it. Maybe we're probably trying to get it, or maybe we're aware we don't have it. But you can just let Lisa know, or reach out to us and let us know. We'll do a data request. It's usually about 2 weeks before we have that data. I say 10 days to 14 days. Our team will tell you it's usually 3 weeks or 4 weeks just to manage expectations. But in the past, pre-Christmas time, we were gathering data within usually a week to 14 days. So, a week or two. And once we have that data, we'll get it up and rolling for you. The cool part about that is that means we've never run that data. Now we do refresh the data we own all the time, but what we don't own, we're accumulating. And so the cool thing about some of this is you could reach out to Lisa, for example, um, get everything worked out with her. Meanwhile, what Lisa will do, you might tell her, hey, I want the VA hospital in Hays, Kansas. I don't know if there is one there, but and what Lisa will do is she's taking you through their registration process and our registration process. Meanwhile, she'll reach out to us and our team over here, and we will do a data request on that. And by the time all your stuff over there is taken care of and you're registered, we should be able to get those campaigns up and running right away. So, Lisa, I don't know if you have a comment on that part of it or not.
No, I just know that it's been extremely helpful with a lot of the producers I'm working with. Some of them, like in Tennessee and some of those states that have some more rural areas. Um, we've been able to do that, and the cool thing is you'd be proprietary to that area too. So
Absolutely.
don't hesitate to do a little digging in your area and definitely let me know or let Rob know and we'll get you taken care of there.
Absolutely. And so, like I said, guys, lots of opportunity here. Um, our system's created to fill you in the times where you're not busy. The average agent takes about, and this is just the average agent. You don't need to take this many appointments. I mean, the average agent's taking about 10, 11 appointments a week. There's some agents that take 3 appointments a week because that's all the open time they have. The cool thing about being with IMES is there's no minimums, no maximums. There's no contract with us, at least. IMES is taking care of all that. IMES is also taking care of any registration fee with us, so that's taken care of. You have no monthly access fees. That's all taken care of. So there is some huge opportunity, just getting hooked in with IMES through us because of those savings. And on top of that, they do offer they've got a VIP price per appointment. And Lisa, I don't even know if you want to get in and discuss that now, or you'd rather have them call in, or what you guys want to do there. But it's a
No,
substantial savings. It's around
that's
65
fine.
or 35%. So,
Yeah,
um,
we can definitely disclose that because I know it's a big, question on a lot of folks' mind. How much is this going to cost me? We do have a discounted rate of $64 per appointment. And and I'm not saying per lead, I'm saying per appointment. I want to reiterate that because these are actual appointments that are on your calendar. Folks that are aware you're going to be calling them, folks that are aware that you have a time slotted off for them. So that's important to understand. Um, and I want to
Lisa,
go.
I think you have a screenshot of the calendar, don't you? Can you back up your presentation, or maybe,
Let me
I don't know if you can or can't, but
let me
if you
see if I
can, it'll give you guys a little bit of idea what goes on. The big thing that's cool on this side to it, and that appointment side to it, is like Lisa said, is, hey, we're filling in your calendar when you're not busy, and and that's the stuff that really helps on that side. So
can.
uh, you know as far as, really, Lisa, I was going to jump into the sales side. Is that cool?
Yeah, I do want to kind of talk a little bit more about the calendar management stuff. Give me
Absolutely. I'll let you go ahead on that then.
as I'm gonna try to talk and click at the
You're
same
going to talk, and fine. I'll talk a little bit about that calendar, just so
time.
you guys know too. Is we have some people that go, hey, I have a huge agency. Can you keep us all busy? Absolutely. We typically can overload you. Right now on that screen share on your screen, hopefully it's up there. You can see a picture of our calendar. What you see up there, everything in green is an appointment that's been created. Everything in gray is a block. So if this calendar were live, Lisa would be able to take her cursor and put it over one of those green things and click on it, and it would open up the entire appointment. What's in the entire appointment? There's the, full name, the phone numbers, the email addresses. Sometimes clients put notes in there. Hey, I want to have my spouse with me. Is that okay? I used to work at, the University of Colorado, and I was there for 10 years. I have a 403B sitting there. Can you help me get that moved to the right spot? So you'll see all sorts of different type of notes. One thing I can tell you, in most cases, we can overload you. We have some agents that take, you know, 6, 7, 8 appointments a day on a continual basis. I mean, there's I personally think that's too many. We have quite
Hmm.
a few agents out there that are making 50, 60, 100, 120 grand um, a month in revenue on their own pens. So to give you an idea about, getting out there and hustling it, making it the right new year coming up here as we start out. There is opportunity, and there's opportunity to keep yourself busy. That's the big thing. Are all the appointments perfect? Absolutely not. And you're going to run into some of that, but it's no different. I came from a healthcare group at one time, and everybody goes, "God, I love doctors. I want, in the insurance business, I want to get a hold of doctors." And I said, "I'll tell you something about doctors. 99% of them are leveraged and broke. They don't have any money. They're paid huge salaries. When I was running a big facility, I had about 70 doctors that worked for me, and it's like, I remember them going, "Hey, can I have $20 to buy lunch?" And the guy's driving a Bentley to work. So, it's a little bit crazy on that side. So not everything's perfect. Lisa, do you have a comment on the calendar that you wanted to go over?
Yeah, I mean, and Rob, close your ears for a second because you're not gonna like what I have to say. But
Got it.
I tell all my agents, and Rob did touch on this. He's realistic when it comes to this stuff, but um, starting slow is key because the last thing we want you to do is waste a bunch of marketing dollars on appointments you can't keep up with. I would much rather my agents start out with a few appointments, here and there, get familiar with the process, see how they're going to work their own process, and then make it successful going forward and add on into building that calendar out. Another example that I like that Rob uses is your calendar is your throttle. So I use that on a lot of my conversations with my agents and saying, hey, the more open your calendar is, the more appointments you're going to get, and expect those to be filled. So, got to keep a a good eye on your calendar. Good calendar management is going to be key to this success as well. Would you agree?
Absolutely. And the best thing, one of the things I would say to you guys out there as agents, is, bring this in as another revenue stream. If you're being successful right now, and you've been successful out there, this is just another opportunity to fill you in when you're not busy. That's the big thing I would say about it. So, um, you know, Lise, anything else we want to cover? Calendar, any of that stuff? Do you want me to jump into really what goes on the appointments a little bit, any of that sales pitch side or?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit give some examples of how some of these appointments work, and then let's move into the training and the resources we have on that end.
Absolutely perfect. So, just to give you guys a quick overview, what happens on the appointments. Um, like I said, typically you're going to find that, 91, 92% of the people that participate in the pension have no idea what they're going to retire with. So usually you're out on an appointment like this and you just straight up, I mean, I always tell agents, hey, don't overthink this stuff. You got the team at IMES to help you with a lot of the training. So you do have somebody to help hold your hand. They'll, Lisa and her team are excellent in answering those questions. They're one of the best partners we have out there on that side of it. But, you're going to go out, and I always tell agents, hey, keep it simple. You're going to open Pandora's box. Most of them don't know they have a shortfall. And I'm going to just take you through my quick spiel on what on the appointment is basically, hey, Sally, school teacher, what do you think you're going to retire with? And of course she doesn't know. And you turn around and ask her to guess, and she guesses, and she might say, hey, 80,000 a year. And you're like, great, Sally, where'd you get the 80,000 from? She's like, well, I've been, teaching for, 18 years. I've been a principal for the last 3 years. And I've been making 80,000, so I assume with my time of service, and I'm making 80,000, I'll retire with 80,000. Great, Sally. You told me you had a financial advisor. Did he not go over this with you? No, he didn't. Why? Well, Sally, can you retire on 42 grand a year? Well, I mean, it's like hitting them in the head with a baseball bat. They're like, no, I can't. Why? Well, I can't believe your advisor didn't go over this with you. Let me show you, how it's calculated. And then they'll take you through that. You'll take them, sorry, through that pension calculation. Now, I know people have, hey, how do I find out what the pension is? How do I calculate it? That's the stuff IMES can help you with. I mean, their training's phenomenal on that side, and they'll be able to assist you with any of that. But you'll take that client through that calculation and go, at the end of it, the estimated amount's 42,000, and it's sort of like, hey, Sally, I got good news, I got bad news. The good news is you got a little over half your expectation taken care of, which is the 42,000. The bad news is you're $38,000 short. Hey, Sally, what did your financial advisor put in place to cover the 38 grand? Or hey, Sally, what do you have in place to cover the 38 grand? Well, they're unaware of it. They don't have anything in place for it. So that's really Pandora's box. And once you show them that shortfall, that's the opportunity to, go a little bit further into it. From there, the agents kind of go down two different paths. And I know you guys are going to have questions about this, but I'm going to simplify it as best as possible. Let's just say you pick a school district. It's Cherry Creek Unified School District in Denver, Colorado. And you go in and you find out what the pension is for the state of Colorado. And you find out what's approved in Cherry Creek Unified School District. Now, when I say approved, they have a 403B plan that's authorized through the school district. Let's just say it's, for example, and I'm using this solely as an example, let's say it's Voya, Midland, and National Life Group. Well, you're appointed with National Life Group through IMES, right? And you would go in on that appointment, and it's going through the process I just told you, and at the end of that process, it would be, hey, Sally, look, I see you have $100,000 shoved away in your current 403B. There's another retirement vehicle available through Cherry Creek Unified School District. It's, this National Life product. It's got a bonus incentive on it. It has, it's a better rate of return. It's a better fit for you at your age, whatever it is, right? And what you would do as an agent is you'd roll it out of their current 403B into another 403B that's approved in the school district that you're appointed with. So that's one kind of a sales path. The other path that a lot of agents go down, and I think Lisa would agree with me, she probably sees more people go down this, more agents go down this path, is they don't worry about that quote unquote, what we call a payroll slot or pre-tax deduction payroll slot. By the way, at the end of that, they would also have them increase their pre-tax payroll deduction, maybe from, $500 a paycheck to $1,000 a paycheck. And then you're telling Sally, hey, between us moving your 100 grand into this new product and and increasing your pre-tax payroll deduction to $2,000 a month, we would close that gap. So over the next 10 to 15 years. So that's the one side. That other path is the same pitch, but after the good news, bad news, it's more along the lines of, hey, Sally, I'm a little concerned about your financial advisor. He didn't tell you you're only going to make 42 grand a year. Didn't tell you we're $38,000 short. Excuse me. Didn't put anything in place to cover the 38 grand. Maybe you thought you're going to use the Walmart greeter plan, right? Ha ha ha. I'm just curious, did your advisor let you know that you're going to have some tax liability on the 42,000? Well, it's going to be answered with three things 99 times out of 100. Number one, no. Number two, how much do I owe? Well, we can only estimate based off today's taxes, but it seems like taxes are always doing what? Going up, right? Well, number three is going to be, hey, what can I do to avoid the tax? And that's where the agent's coming in, and they end up writing either an IUL or an annuity for that client. And then that's basically what we see happen on the appointments. Lisa, do you have any comment on that?
No, just I would say, you're usually going one or two ways. I mean, obviously with the payroll slots, I mean, those aren't going to be a high revenue, point, but we've got agents that, just don't want to leave anything on the table, and that's totally cool. Then, we have other agents that will just maybe refer them, dip back to their plan organizer and just have them give them guidance on that, and then keep them on a drip email or whatnot. The cool thing also about this program is the fact that these appointments and these clients, once you have them, they're yours. You don't, you're not paying another $65 for a second appointment or any of that. We actually have training in place that helps you with the process and how to start your first appointment, set your second appointment, right away in your first appointment, and gives you a nice smooth process on that. And really want to get you geared up for success on this. With that,
Absolutely. And Lisa,
we'll
you
talk
make
a little
one
bit
good.
about that university. Um, so Rob said, we do. IMS does provide you with a lot of support, whether it's case management. I've got a lot of agents that go on their first appointment. They send me an email and they say, hey, this is kind of the fact finder stuff that I found on the client. What do we do? What do we offer? And I can, give them everything they need. I'll even give them the presentation or the case design for it. Because a lot of times I have just the conversation with the agent, okay, well, did you ask him this? Did you ask him that? This is something that we can also get, help them with. So you've got that kind of support with IMES. You also have, we have a university class for this. It is $99 per month, but I'm pretty much sending all of my guys there, because they will, not only do they have Q&A meetings twice a week with other agents, and I think it's always great to talk to other agents, be in a group like that, see what's working, see what's not working, what kind of um, roadblocks is other folks seeing, and talking with other professionals doing the same stuff you're doing day in and day out is always helpful. But yeah, I mean, they'll share fact finders with you. They'll help you with collecting data and all sorts of things um, that a lot of agents tend to need a little extra help with. And it's $99 a month. Most of our guys, I mean, would you agree, Rob? Most of them don't need to be on there more than 1 month, but it's definitely help.
Absolutely, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Just and so you guys know, it's a third party to both IMS and us, but it's a client that we've had for, I think, probably 4 or 5 years. He himself has been on well over 800 appointments. His team's been on a few thousand appointments. So the
Hmm.
guy, has created a little another training loop for a lot of agents, and we've had a lot of good response. On our side, we've had a lot of good response. I think on your side, Lisa, you've probably had a lot of
Oh,
good response.
awesome responses. I haven't had a single agent come back to me complaining or saying that he didn't get, it wasn't worth his time. I mean, it's 100% worth the time.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Lise, anything else we want to go over? Um, you know, the only one thing I think I can miss, is you guys go, hey, how is the appointment delivered to me? When we create an appointment for you, number one is, what's the startup ramp up time look like? It's usually, if you registered and signed up today, completed your calendar, put your credit card in there, and told us to go ahead and flip the switch, just so you know, once you do all that stuff, you need to give either Lisa or us a verbal communication that, hey, I'm ready to move forward. It's typically about 2 to 3 days before you'll see your first appointment. When an appointment's delivered to you, the earliest we'll deliver an appointment is 24 hours out. So you don't have to worry about going to bed tonight and at midnight some crazy person makes an appointment for 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. That will not happen to you. But when that appointment is created, let's just say there's an appointment created for this Friday, and it's going to be delivered to Lisa's calendar. Our system would grab the appointment, deliver it to Lisa's calendar, and Lisa would instantly receive a text. The text would say, hey, Lisa, you received an appointment. Please check your calendar and your email. So we would deliver that appointment to Lisa's calendar and her email, and she'd be able to view it there. Now, 24 hours prior to the appointment, we'll reach out to the client again, and we'll confirm that appointment. If we end up losing that appointment, so let's just say the client cancels or the client reschedules, and when they reschedule, maybe you're not available, so it goes off your calendar. Maybe it goes to a different agent because the client wants to reschedule till next week on Thursday, and you're not available on Thursday, so it would go onto another agent's calendar. It would be removed from your calendar, of course, and you wouldn't be billed. You would also receive a text message as well as an email on that saying your appointment has been canceled. So
Yeah.
that's the delivery process on there.
Rob, can you go? I know a lot of agents that I talk to want to know what happens if there's no shows or the client cancels. Can you kind
Absolutely.
of,
Absolutely. On no shows, number one, unfortunately, it's something we bill on. You guys are getting a huge discount on appointments. However, that being said, and you guys being with IAMS, we do give you a little bit of special treatment on our side. And what we do is we work with you for a week or two. And, if you end up having a no-show, let's just say Lisa's 10 o'clock appointment didn't show up, she'd be able to contact either myself or one of our other team members, and just tell them, hey, you can text us, email us, or call us, anything you want to do. But if her 10 o'clock didn't show up and she's reached out a couple times, it's now 11:30. She'd reach back out to us and go, hey, Rob, my 10 o'clock didn't show. It's now 11:30. It was with Sally Smith. Can you please take care of it? We'd remove it from your calendar and you wouldn't even be billed. So like I said, we actually bill on the day of the appointment. So we'll work with you because you're with IAMS. We work with you for a couple weeks doing that. After that, what happens when you have a no-show? What would happen then is 1 hour after the appointment, you would be able to go in and click on that appointment and report it as a no-show. What happens there is we've had something in our system that has been, we would call it, it was our garbage, but we didn't do anything with it. We didn't really recycle it. But, as we go through our process, we have over about 18 million names in our database, and we're adding to it all the time to give you guys an idea of, how many appointments we create. We'd reach out to somebody, we reach out to Sally, we'd schedule an appointment with her. And you got to remember, the client's taking the time to create the appointment, not us. So Sally goes in and creates the appointment, takes her 5-10 minutes. She creates the appointment, and then all of a sudden she decides she wants to cancel. She cancels. Well, of course, we try and reschedule with her. Well, many times we can't get her rescheduled. And so what we've done in the past is we've kind of left those cancellation appointments alone, and we just worry about creating appointments. Well, now what we're doing, at one time we talked about selling those as leads. And then we kind of came back and said, hey, I came back and to our ownership group and said, hey, let's turn around and let's give back to the people that are investing in us. And so now what happens is when you click that no-show button, our system will go in and grab up to 3 more of those appointments that were created that we never were able to recreate. We did a beta test with one of our groups for about 6 or 8 months on this last year at the beginning of the year. and they had some huge success with this. I mean, their close rate on those let's just call them quote unquote hot leads um, has been around 60% close rate on those. So what
It's awesome.
their agents are doing is once those are delivered, they're coming up with a little thing. Hey, Sally, I see you had created an appointment at one time to make sure your retirement income gap was covered. I'd love to review that with you. Do you have time this Thursday or Friday? And maybe give her a couple times or what time works Thursday or Friday at either 3 or 4, which one works best, and turn around and reschedule that appointment. Little work in that one, but not much really. We tell them just email them and text them that basic message, and so been some good results on that side of it as well. So
Hmm.
after that kind of honeymoon period, that's kind of what happens with the no shows.
So you're not out 100%, which is awesome. Um, One other thing, I've got another question here in the questions box. Is the appointment set for the office or in the client's home? The expectation of how these appointments work is they are virtual appointments. Now the client has the option if they just prefer a phone call appointment, that's fine. It's up to the client ultimately if they want to do a virtual appointment or just a call, correct, Rob?
Yeah, one thing, absolutely. One thing I would say, so just so you guys know, pre-coronavirus, we were doing about 98% of our business, 99, 98% of our business face to face, meaning the client was requesting face to face appointments. That being said, at that time, I have a client who we still have that's got about between 1,100 and 1,500 agents that have been buying what is called a VC or video conference appointment from us for the past 5 years now. It's almost going on 6, but
Mhm.
and been very successful with it. Their close rate pre-coronavirus, their close rate was a couple points higher than agents going face to face. And I know for some of you, that have been in the industry for a while, it's a challenge. You're like, I am
Mhm.
just struggling with this technology and stuff. And what I tell a lot of agents is, hey, look, in the past, what you did, you pick your keys up off your nightstand, you put it in the car, and you start it up and you drive through traffic and you get to the client. And it's business as usual. You're going to do the same thing. The only difference is now the keys are going to be on your desktop or laptop. You're going to start Zoom up, and that's going to be your new vehicle. It's going to drive you, quote unquote, face to face with your client again. Um, and it's business as usual from there. What we've seen on our side uh, through the virus time and the changes in this world is number one, it's kind of pushed the insurance industry, you know, 5 to 7 years down the road. We over the last 3 or 4 years, I'm going to take out last year, but 3 years prior to that, have seen a continual uptick in clients requesting digital, video conference, phone call type appointments. I mean, it's just kind of the way of the world. Um,
Mhm.
what I'm surprised about is, is things had loosened up a little, and then, the restrictions loosened and then tightened and loosened and tightened. We kind of going through that wave scenario, or up and down scenario. Is the the client requests are still up there, but the interesting thing about it is I followed a couple of our key groups. Our key groups have told me when things do go back to whatever this new normal is going to be, if it ever gets there, they do not want any more face to face appointments. They don't want to waste their time driving around. So some of my clients, hey, I was only able to go on 3 appointments a day because I'm in LA and the traffic, and now I can take 8 appointments a day.
Mhm.
So a lot of my clients through this last year, through 2020, doubled up their business, which is crazy, right? Because everybody's like, there's a pandemic. I didn't do any business. There's a
Yep.
lot of our people that blew up their business using our platform through IAMS.
And being able to do things in other states too. I mean, a lot of you guys are licensed, in more than one state. This opens up your territory and your book, extremely well to be able to do that. So, I've got, several of my agents that are actually wanting to expand their licenses into other states with this program as well. So that's another thing to think about. And once you
Absolutely. We can do that.
have these guys, I mean, if let's say you do your first, let's say you do have a client that wants to meet face to face, or you are more of a face to face kind of person, or producer. The nice thing about this program is that once, it's your business, your call how you want to manage it. We just get you in front of a person that needs to talk to an advisor. So, after that first virtual meeting, and if you say, hey, my next appointment or my next step with my clients is to meet face to face and go over these solutions, then go for it. That's how you want to run your business, then do that. They're your client. You do what you want. So,
Absolutely.
yep. Well, do we have any other questions? Hope I've answered most of the questions that are in the question box here. Does anybody else have anything? I'll give you a minute to type something in. And
Yeah, I think next steps with a lot of people, Lisa, is hey, what's my next step? And the next step on our side, is hey, how do I participate in this system?
hmm
And I would say, hey, get a hold of the people at IAMS and Lisa and her team, and
yep,
they'll get you guys dialed in and send you our way.
yep, absolutely. I'm gonna actually turn this over so you guys have my contact information. Um, there we go. There's my email address, and then the 800 number to reach us here at IMES. First thing, obviously, you'll have to be contracted with IMES in order to have access to this resource, and the discounted rates. Second, after that, you get with if you're already working with a marketer here, contact them. They can get you the registration link for Rob's program and get you rocking and rolling on that. Otherwise, I will be following up with everybody and also be sending everybody out some information on this program, as well as information on IMES, so that you have that handy as well. For those of you that are already contracted with us, this is a good reminder to utilize us for other resources. Um, and those that are new to us, I look forward in working with all of you. So with that in mind, Rob, do you have anything else you want to add?
Absolutely not. I'm good to go. I appreciate everybody's time. We're looking forward to a prosperous new year and getting off on the right foot for everybody for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I look forward in speaking with each of you. I'll be in touch with you today, tomorrow. And we do have quite the attendance today, so I'm excited about that. And with that in mind, wish you all a great rest of the week. Take care and be safe out there. Thanks, Rob.